of their reality and they see that it is not as beautiful as they believe it is, then they will change it. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, with 50% dissatisfaction will bring 50% change. So you don't see real change because so many of us have been content in our oppression and we are satisfied. But when we all become dissatisfied and really get sick of this foolishness, and when there is 100% dissatisfaction from all the human family, then this will change once and for all. But again, like I told you, there are those who benefit from things just the way they are. They don't want no change. And many of you have become content. Oh, well, if you can't beat them, join them. And that's what many of you have done. You have decided to join the wicked, join the evil. But at the same time, your scriptures, you are religious believers, and your God is telling you that this world is on its way out, and I'm bringing in a new world. God is not going to embrace those who maintain this world. The God that you talk about plans to make a new heaven, a new earth, and the former things shall pass away. This is of the former things. Black is of the former things. White is of the former things. The United States of America is of the former thing. Everything that you see now is of the former things. But you have become like Lot's wife. When in the scriptures, God told Lot and his family to leave Sodom and Gomorrah, don't look back. But Lot's wife, because there was some type of love for the filth, those things that God hates, don't look back at it. But something about that filth, even though God hated it, Lot's wife, there was some type of love. And some of y'all love evil. You want good and evil, and you can't have both. It's either one or the other. That's the reality of it. But see, you have these false teachings where you try to embrace both. A little bit of good and a little bit of evil, you know, whatever. That's not how things work. Either you're righteous or you are unrighteous. One or the other. There is no gray area. There is no compromise. It's one or the other. You don't compromise with evil. You don't compromise with unrighteousness. If you are a believer in God, you show me anywhere in Bible or Quran where God compromised with the devil, with Satan, with evil. God is the greatest killer. He don't play. And so since I represent reality, I represent this truth. I can't play. I'm standing against strong forces. So I have to be strong. I have to be boastful. But I am humble. I'm not an arrogant person. Because, like I've said many times, I can accept error. Because I understand that the creation talks to all of us. From the eldest to the smallest. Wisdom can come from any type of source, even from the devil, the wicked themselves. If you shut up and listen. I'm listening to you. I'm hearing what you say. And I understand. But some of you love falsehood. Some of you like this world. I don't like nothing about America. I don't like nothing about how anything on this planet. I don't like, it's just all of it is messed up. Now, if God told me to leave this place and don't look back, no problem. But y'all, there's something about this that you want, that you love. Because really, you don't believe in heaven. Really, you don't believe those scriptures. Because your reality is right here. What you see, what you touch. You say that you believe those things, but you don't. Because if you did, you would not be embracing and loving the enemies of God, those who involve themselves in unrighteous behaviors, proven liars and deceivers. I want to talk about, speaking of liars and deceivers, I want to talk about these persons who have the nerve, a lot of nerve, because they are ignorant, really. And I guess they think that we are ignorant. And they are correct. Because if the black man and woman, the descendants of slaves in America, if we were not ignorant, if our minds were not dead, if we were not walking zombies, they could not do what they have done to us. But because we have been made deaf, dumb, and blind, they know that we're ignorant. But real truth is here. And truth has been given to us through the ages. Via Malcolm X, via Martin Luther King, via Noble Drew Ali, via Marcus Garvey, Nat Turner. Truths have been given to us. And those truths have reached the plateau. Now you will see, or you will be blind forever. Because you can't get no better than your accepting your reality. So they tell us and think we're dumb. Dumb enough to believe a liar and a deceiver telling us we are not victims. That's a ludicrous claim. They have to be ignorant. That's a bold statement to tell a people who have gone through what we have that we are not victims. But there are those who have suffered less and they are victims. Let me explain something to you, brothers and sisters. Don't let nobody tell you that the descendants of slaves born in America, I don't care if you Oprah or Bill Cosby, Jesse Jackson, I don't give a care if you're a billionaire or you're on welfare. Don't let none of these suckers tell you that you're not a victim. And when they do come to you with that foolishness, either you tell them to come to this house, play this video for them, or you remember what I've said to you within the time frame of this video, and you fire that back at them and watch them run. Get behind me, Satan, because that's all it is. It's Satan coming to you. See, there are those who, like I said before, there are those who benefit from things just the way they are. And the way things are is that you have a certain group of people in a superior position, and then you have those in an inferior position. And we who are the descendants of slaves in America, we have always been in the lower echelon of things. We don't make any laws. We don't make any policies. We're just here, whatever those on the top want us to do, there we go. And they pat us on our head. Good Negro. There's no equality in that. Your vote don't mean nothing when those people in power outnumber you. You don't have a chance in hell. So what? So when black folks vote, basically, it's an illusion giving you a facade, fantasy, making you believe that you're a part of some type of process, your vote means something when really it don't. Actually, when people vote, period, your vote don't mean anything, because the president of the United States is chosen by the Electoral College, and they can vote with the people or they can vote however they please, because the Electoral College was established when the majority of America was illiterate, and those who were in power felt as though they were too stupid to vote for a proper leader, which I guess they still feel today. Even though you have a college degree, even though you read and write real well, and some of y'all doing very well, y'all brag about it all the time, but yet and still, you are not well enough where they trust you with choosing a president. So they just give you the illusion, go out and vote, go out and vote, and there you go. Voting for nothing. Your vote don't mean anything. And that's a reality. You don't want to accept that either. See, that's your problem. Y'all live in fantasy, la-la land. Mickey Mouse, Barnum and Bailey world. Circus stuff. And you wonder why you are in the condition that you're in. So you have these idiots that tell us that we are not victims. And they tell us that because they don't want to accept responsibility and make proper choices for themselves. Just the very fact that Africans were born in America give you the first clue that victimization was going on. The very fact that our ancestors, we were placed here involuntarily, tell you somebody was victimized. That you were part of the commission of a crime against humanity. Now, to prove my points, I use as an example the law of the Caucasian people of this country. I'm going to use the law of the perpetrators of the crime themselves to make my point, to show you that the black man and woman of America was victims then, and you're still a victim right now. First of all, exactly what is a victim? Let's make it simple. A victim is one who has suffered great harm, whether it could be mental or physical injury, due to the commission of a crime or negligence on the part of another person. Please keep in mind that in many cases, the victim, him or herself, have suffered great injury, but they may have also become deceased. A victim don't necessarily have to be alive. So in their place, a relative can represent them, or any other proper representative may pursue justice for that victim. As you know, there are many people who are murdered. There are many people who die in car accidents. They are deceased. But their family or a lawyer, somebody can represent those who have passed this life. So just because you are deceased don't mean that you can't be a victim. So, and that person that represents you can pursue justice, which will, the consequence or the result, if you pursue the charges, criminal charges, the one who caused that person's death or that harm, they could go to jail, be given the death penalty, or in a civil court, you can win money, and that money will be granted to the relatives. Look, the money can be granted to the relatives of the deceased. That money goes to their estate, which means it will go to that person's relatives, wife, children, whoever inherits the deceased person's estate. Or the money, the reward, the award that is won in the court, that becomes that is the estate. Most times in court, the victim is known as the plaintiff. Now, I want y'all to, I don't want to try to bore you. I want to try to make this point. And keep these points in mind so when these wackos come to you with this foolishness, oh, black folks, they ain't no victim, then you can tell them to get the hell out of your face. In court, the victim is known as the plaintiff. The plaintiff is the one who filed a complaint bringing an allegation directed towards the defendant. The defendant is the person accused of committing the crime or other offense. I am a plaintiff. I accuse the white man of atrocities against black people 400 years ago, and I accuse them of doing the same things in a different manner right now, today. So I would be the plaintiff, and the United States of America would be the defendant. For one to become a victim doesn't always mean that you can see your injury. Look, listen now. Just because you can't see the injury doesn't mean that you're not injured. For example, a child that is very young and their mother was murdered, they are a victim. But the child does not know, is too young to know that they are a victim. So the child continues to behave like a normal child because they can't comprehend, they don't know what's going on. That's your problem, brothers and sisters. You don't know that you're a victim. You can't comprehend. You just don't know. A person that is dying from the side effect of some drug can go years and years and years and don't know. Look like everybody else. Look healthy and everything. You don't know that you're injured. In the case of those of us who are born the descendants of slaves in America, it is very ignorant and silly on our part to listen to a nation of people whose ancestors and they themselves, even today, you can see cases of crimes against humanity. Why would you listen to these people who are enslavers, who sit around, drop bombs? As I speak, they are planning on dropping bombs on Iran. They're always planning murder, exploiting, doing something to somebody. But this is the land that's supposed to be so peaceful. If it's so peaceful, how come you act so savage, so brutal, and you go broke trying to kill people? Every bomb they dropped on Libya, every bomb cost $500,000. Oh,